Okay, here we go. All right. 3, 2, 1. Jayin, Super Jayin, eats a pizza every day and he is from Space Brisbane and he enjoys to cream pie all the girls. Dun 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 dun. Super Jayin. He watches rugby league. Rugby. Brisbane Broncos is his favorite team. He goes to games, picks up chicks with his mates, then he gets laid. No condom on the first date. He likes the Aryan cunts. He'll knock you out if you touch him. He doesn't like fat people. Maybe one day he'll meet expert games. Dun 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 dun. Jayin, Super Jayin, touch his chicken, you'll be praying. He'll spend a night in jail, but you'll end up in the morgue. Jayin, Super Jayin, diss the manga, he ain't playing. So just enjoy the show. This is Big D and I sing extremely bad. TalkDB. Dun dun dun.
That is the best song yet, and I tried very hard not to laugh while I was dancing to that song. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
All right. This is Talk Dragon Ball here. Me and Jay. Somebody's laughing in the background. I don't know if it's Jay or if it's our special guest, but we do have a guest on today. We're going to introduce him momentarily. But today's topic is we're going to talk about Toei's dropping the ball on the Dragon Ball Super promotion because it's 2015, guys, not 1995. And joining us here, a man who really needs no introduction, a legend among YouTube circles, self-made man himself from Antarctica. Welcome, Qaaman.
Alrighty, guys, it is Qaaman here today.
Was that you giggling at the song, Qaaman?
Maybe.
All right. Don't worry. One day I'll write a song about you. Qaaman from Antarctica. It is cold as shit down there. My nipples are real hard. No. So we're talking about Dragon Ball Super. And so here's kind of what I wanted to talk about with you guys here on this show is it's 2015, not 1995. I know I keep saying that. And what's bugging me, and I was talking to Rhymestyle about this the other day, and he was telling me some things that I was actually very surprised about. But one thing that he and I agreed on was the whole thing about how strange Japan is, specifically Toei. Toei has done some very bizarre things in the past with regards to not just Dragon Ball, but their other properties. You know, for example, when Funimation first got a hold of the Dragon Ball Z footage, they never got the next episode previews, or actually they did get them, but they got them with no audio. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know why Toei did that, but they did. In addition to that, I remember hearing from Chris Sabat himself that they didn't even get scripts. They had to create their own scripts from the Spanish dub. That kind of stuff never made sense to me. But now we're here in 2015. Dragon Ball Super is coming out. It's this week. It's the biggest freaking news in 2 decades, Dragon Ball news. And we don't have a simulcast announced yet. We don't have any dub both in Latin America or in North America, the 2 biggest markets for Dragon Ball outside of Japan. It's quite confusing. So I'm going to start with Qaaman. What do you think's going on here?
Well, and yes, you know, Daddy, that's my, you've talked about that phrase. I mean, quite honestly, when I look at this whole situation, I find it kind of weird because as we were talking off the air, I feel like by Toei being so strict about everything, I think it entices fans to, you know, use alternative methods that I won't say for legality purposes to actually go out on the internet and extract for their own self purposes. And I think by doing that, it hurts the profitability of Dragon Ball because quite honestly, Danny, I mean, oh crap, was I supposed to say Danny or?
You can say my real name. It's all right.
I'm sorry.
It's
but
okay.
But I just wanted to say that I just find it kind of interesting because when you think about it, I mean, a lot of times, a lot of fans are not really aware that by watching Battle of Gods, by watching Fakatsu no F, by buying the merchandise, and you were saying off the air that merchandise is actually a lot more important in Japan than it is for sales in the United States. And all of these different things that go in towards promoting the product, I think really plays key. And by, TOEI not necessarily allowing us to see it as fast as we would like really hurts the project. But I think of it more as a short-term problem instead of a long-term.
I agree. I'm going to go to Jay on this one next. Jay, do you think that the lack of TOEI announcing a simulcast, we're going to get to the dub in a minute, but a simulcast, at least an official subtitled version, or maybe some kind of system where you can pay like $5 a month to watch all of Super or something like that, do you think that encourages the piracy of the show?
I do. There's a lot of really hardcore Dragon Ball fans around the world, in Western countries and European countries, that love the show just as much as the Japanese people do. And I really feel like we should be getting not just basically subtitled versions of the show straight away, simulcast. We should be getting dub dates announced for like the English. We should be getting dub dates announced for the English and the European markets very soon after the announcement of the Japanese release. So we should be getting the US version basically of Super at the same time as the Japanese version. Obviously not at the exact same time, but I think the US version of Super should be announced within the first few months after Super has started being released in Japan, and I don't think we're going to get that, unfortunately.
I'm going to take it a step further. Well, I'm just going to take it a step further. I think they should have been working on the Funimation and the Latin American deal when Super was first announced. They should have already been making these contracts, making these deals. I often wonder, and Mike Labrie talked about this on one of his recent podcasts over on Kanzenshu, I wonder if Toei, and this is, with all due respect, because I do love Dragon Ball, I wonder if they have their heads up their ass, because do they not understand how big this franchise is? Not just in North America, but Latin America, it's even bigger. $7 million on Battle of Gods, which is huge for Latin America. Do they not get it? Are they just do they just not like making money?
With Super, it's a little bit different. I think they should have learned from their mistakes with Battle of Gods, and I think they did a little bit. For Katsun OF, we're getting the dubs much sooner after the Japanese release. We're getting them much quicker than we did with Battle of Gods. But the thing is, with Super, it is a little bit different. They don't know how successful the show is going to be. So I think that's why they're keeping their cards close to the chest and holding off on announcing any dub release dates for Super. But I definitely think that you should have a paid service for people who really want to see it, to be able to watch it on anime streaming websites like Hulu Plus or something like that.
Yeah,
you should
something
be able
legal.
You should be able to do that. And if you can't, it is going to encourage people who really want to watch it straight away to go and watch it online by streaming it illegally. And, if they're not going to do anything about it, then they're really only shooting themselves in the foot.
Qaaman, do you agree with that Toei is unsure if the show's going to be successful?
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, because I think all of the American hype, I think, really promotes the product. But at the same time, I do think that they're at least somewhat aware that it could be a potential fail. But I just think I just think that it's personally because of the fact that, overseas, they have to go through the whole censorship process. They have to go through dubbing it. They have to go through all these changes. And I think that that's one of the reasons why they don't really want to just put it online first, because number one, obviously people might start pirating it, even though it's easy to pirate it anyways. And I think that they just don't want their product to be sent overseas until it's goes through all the official, sources. And I've seen a lot of other animes that allowed it. I mean, for example, a lot of fans do it, for crying out loud. So, at the end of the day, I don't really think it's that bad, because, quite frankly, as well as anybody that after Super starts, that they're basically going to just completely do like a fan dub. Fans create their own subtitles all the time for other people to share. So, honestly, it's kind of like an FU to Toei Animation. It's like, listen, you guys don't want to give us the fan subs. I'm sorry, if you guys don't want to give us the subs, you don't want to give us a simulcast, and we're just going to sub it ourselves. And I think that kind of creates a lot of animosity towards it, but because it's not going to be as good. But, at the same time, I think they're shooting themselves in their foot, not the other way around.
That's exactly my point. I think they are. And that's exactly what I want to talk about, because It's just like it was in the 90s. You're right. And here's the thing. Here's the scary part. In the 90s, people like me and Mr. Fusion and Mike Labrie and even Rhymestyle, we had to do tape trading. We had to trade tapes. We had to import stuff. We had companies like Anime Labs and S. Baldrick Productions doing the subtitling because Dragon Ball just wouldn't come fast enough. It just wouldn't come fast enough. We were obsessed with it. Here we are in 2015, the age of technology. We are all connected together. The entire world is connected. Everything's different now. You can watch Breaking Bad live and all over the world and then get the translated version a week later. It's a totally different world than it was in the 90s, and we're still going back to having to record these episodes off of TV and then subtitle them ourselves. I mean, that's... I just... It's stupid, and you're right. It's going to happen. And Qaaman, you can vouch for me on this one. Can you count how many times somebody, one of your subscribers, has asked you for a copy or where can I watch Fakatsu no F? You have to have gotten that at least 1,000 times in the past 2 months.
Yeah, I mean, and quite frankly, you know, I'll just say, I mean, I don't have like it. I mean, I've seen a couple clips, you know, from various sources, but I haven't seen the full film. And, you know, at the same time, I think that by, you know, having all these different fan subs, it really promotes pirating. I mean, because the whole point of Toei Animation, they're thinking they're trying to stop pirating by, you know, sending it over, but actually they're doing the polar opposite. It's a counterintuitive thing. You don't want people to steal your content because if you just upload your stuff online and just put some subs for fans to watch it earlier, well, people can just download it and keep it for themselves. But by not doing it, people are just going to watch the Japanese stuff, share it, and then do it anyway. So I just say just stick it through and get rid of it fast. And I wanted to ask you, Danny, because, you know, you did a lot of research about about the Battle of Gods film, and I wanted to ask you, what would you say is the main cause? Because there's a plethora of reasons, but what would you say is the main cause it took Battle of Gods forever to hit U.S. shores?
I'm not exactly sure, but the speculation, this is the speculation and the rumor that's been going around is that for years is that Toei was actually angry at Funimation. This is, again, just a rumor. Toei was actually not happy with Funimation, and the reason for that is because Toei, because, okay, remember, folks, Latin America got Battle of Gods way before we did. They actually got it about 3 months after, so it's definitely something having to do with Funimation. The rumor was that when Funimation started putting out the Blu-rays, Toei was angry because in Toei's eyes, the only high-definition Blu-ray Dragon Ball was Kai. They worked on it. They made it. They put it out. Once Funimation put out the Dragon Ball Z Blu-rays, which were not licensed by Toei at all, it was a complete Funimation call, Toei did not like that because they felt that Funimation was undercutting them. That was the speculation amongst the community for a long time, and that might be it.
I see.
So, but again, that's just a speculation. Now,
That's
Jay,
a point.
yeah, it could be. Now, Jay, in your opinion, okay, I think that it's 2015. They should take Dragon Ball Super, maybe the day after it airs on Fuji TV, throw it up on Toei's website, have an English version of their website, hire Stephen J. Simmons, who subs for Funimation, have him subtitle the episode right away, even though it might take some time, might take about a day or two. If you pay him money, he'll do it. And then they could put it up $5 a month, maybe even for free, and just throw a bunch of ads up like Hulu does and make money. They could make money because then what they could do is they could put it up at 480p, and we only watch it at 480p. And then when the Blu-rays come out, they can advertise the Blu-rays and say, okay, you watch it at 480p, but now you can buy the real version at 1080p and really own Dragon Ball Super. That's my strategy. What do you think?
I think that's a great idea.
Okay, Jay, what do you think?
Like I said earlier, first and foremost, they're already shooting themselves in the foot, and they really, really should be promoting this more in Western cultures and releasing not a dub, but a sub version of it for us to watch online. And they should be advertising it on social media. They should be advertising it on YouTube. Dragon Ball is not something that is taken lightly in the anime community. If you put ads up about Dragon Ball, people are going to notice it and people are going to click on it. Even people who don't know much about anime know what Dragon Ball is. They really, really are letting this opportunity go to advertise this new version of the show, because the popularity of Dragon Ball hasn't really, in my opinion, died down at all. It's kind of gone quiet for a little while, but there's still just as many fans in the community now as there was 10, 15 years ago. And I really, really think that it's a big slap in the face to Western fans that they're not at least giving us something. You know what I mean? It just seems like at the moment it's exclusive to Japan, and that's really, really disappointing.
I feel like they're sticking their head in the ground, bro, like an ostrich. Like, I really feel that way.
Yep, I agree with you.
Now I'm going to go to Qaaman here for this question. I was talking to Rhymestyle about this too, and he told me, and I believe him, that he told me that TOEI does not like Team 4-Star. They do not like Team 4-Star, and I believe it because Team 4-Star themselves said that there's no way that even though they are doing a parody, which is legal under fair use in North America, if you do a parody of something, it is legal. They cannot monetize their videos. Qaaman, you've talked about this on videos before. We've talked about it off air, about the trouble that Dragon Ball tubers have with using footage because of the fact that there are bots on YouTube that detect the footage and therefore can cause strikes on our accounts and maybe risk us losing our entire account. And to me, I mean, I'll just your thoughts on this. To me, I find that channels like yours, BLACKENFIST, Rhymestyles, people who do Dragon Ball Z in the community are actually helping TOEI, because when I watch one of your videos, like one of your What If videos, you know, some of them make me want to go back and watch the episode and kind of think about it, kind of revisit it. So if your videos are making me want to, and the same thing goes for Jay's and Mike and all these guys, if the videos are making me want to go back and watch the show and I don't own the show, I'm going to want to buy the show. Therefore, they're making money. So what the hell are they thinking by not at least allowing the YouTube community? Of course, you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to throw up an entire episode. But if you're under the fair use guidelines, what is the problem with us helping them? Because I don't see what harm we have in harming them and their bottom line. If anything, we're encouraging people to go out and watch more Dragon Ball.
Wow, I mean, you know, you've said a lot of good points, D, and I've really thought about a lot of what you've said before. You know, we've talked about it, and it's pretty sad, and I don't want to use the word sad, to be honest with you, but it's pretty sad that, you know, all of these bots are like hurting a lot of the DBZ tubers, and I only say this for one reason, and I'm not trying to take away, you know, from those who've provided DBZ clips online. But what really honestly ticks me off more than anything else related to what you're saying with the whole footage is the fact that you know exactly who they are, and I won't say the names. There's a variety of YouTubers out there on the internet who upload entire episodes, who upload fights, like
in different languages too.
Right, that get a quadrillion times the amount of views that I get for my videos. And like, I go on and I see these guys just uploading full fights, you know, same audio, same everything, nothing changed at all. They might put a watermark for their name, but it's the same exact footage, and they're left fine. But then I personally, I use my footage to actually show people what I'm talking about, or to actually, you know, promote the commentary, because just like Team 4-Star, under fair use, they can use it for parody purposes. I use it for educational and commentary purposes. So it's a different reason, but it's also covered under fair use. And I think that it's really sad because, I mean, you know, you guys have said before, and I've had some fans who've told me that, you know, my videos have really caused them to think about Dragon Ball in another way. I mean, quite frankly, it's caused me to think about Dragon Ball in another way when I get fan requests to do these what ifs and stuff, because a lot of things I've done in videos I didn't think about before. And it's really sad because I want Dragon Ball to succeed. I want to promote them. You know, I might use some clips, you know, for my commentary, but I think it's just completely cruel that I have to go through the ridiculous amount of copyright problems. And same thing for BLACKENFIST, while these other really big channels, you know, that just upload just full episodes and stuff, like, they're just fine. Now, some of them get taken down, but I don't think it's fair that I shouldn't get hit at all if they're allowed to stay, you know. But that's just my opinion.
No, and you're right. And one quick story I'll tell before we get out of here is now Jay has been lucky enough to avoid a lot of these problems, but I'm sure at some point it may happen. Hopefully not. But and also Laughingstock Mike's also had these issues too. But for me, it really is infuriating that their bots detect my videos, and now I've had to kind of change the way I edit them so to, you know, with less footage and things like that. Which again, one thing that you did say, Qaaman, is you told me that a big part of your success you feel is because of how nice your videos look, and my videos may never look as nice as yours, only based on the fact that I am trying my best to avoid those issues. But that being said, it infuriates me that both you and I and BLACKENFIST and other people have gotten these quote-unquote warnings, and yet some asshole downloaded my entire channel, and shout outs to Satan Baller for finding this for me. Some dickwad downloaded my entire fucking channel, re-uploaded it to his channel. I contact YouTube, there's a better chance of getting Barack Obama's private cell number than it is getting a hold of somebody on YouTube. I contact them, but I say, this son of a bitch downloaded my entire channel, re-uploaded it, kept the freaking descriptions, kept the freaking titles, even kept the links, and they want me to give them links to every single video that they took down and re-uploaded. Motherfuckers, I have 150 something videos on my channel, and you want me to give you every single link? It's infuriating.
You know, Danny, it's kind of weird that you say that, because I don't think I've ever told you before, but I've actually dealt through the same thing. But from my observations, I think they're bots that do that. At least from my instance, because I see very, very generic names. And the only reason why I know for sure that they're bots is because I've seen a variety of channels that re-upload my videos, and they upload a lot of my they upload all of my Yu-Gi-Oh videos, and I'm like, no human would upload my Yu-Gi-Oh videos, considering the fact that they were, I'll be honest, they weren't that good in quality, and the audio was bad, and the Yu-Gi-Oh videos I did to this very day don't have that many views, so it doesn't make sense why they're uploading, my Yu-Gi-Oh videos. So that's why I've also gone through that experience with bots, and I think it's really stupid. But I think YouTube's a great. I just want to close out my statement in this video by saying that I just think YouTube's a great website. I think it's great for promoting me. I wouldn't be where I am, without my subs and without YouTube. But at the same time, I just think it's really screwed up. And if you don't mind, Danny, you can link them to my video where I discussed creators versus, YouTube versus creators, where I talk about, how, a lot of people look at YouTubers and say, well, YouTubers shouldn't be complaining because YouTube is paying them and they're, YouTube's provided all this for them. And like Danny, me, you, Jay, Laughing Sock, we all laugh and say to ourselves, are you guys kidding me? We're the ones who's promoting your website. People go online to watch us, not you. YouTube is nothing without people making videos. That's right. So it's stupid when I see people saying, oh, all these rules. We're the ones driving the product. It's the same thing for like NBA and NFL players. Do you think people go to NBA games to watch Donald Sterling's team, or do they go to watch Donald Sterling's players? They don't care about Donald Sterling. They care about the players. Exactly. And that's how I look at it ultimately. I think the players drive the product the same way creators drive the product. And not just that, but to your point about the people saying, oh, well, YouTube pays you. If one of these shitty companies puts a content ID match on your video, you ain't getting paid for that for a month. And when you get paid for it in a month, you ain't gonna make as much money as you will the first 3 days, or the first week or whatever. So there's videos. I'm not gonna talk too much about it, Qaaman, but there's videos that you've worked hard on, which I've seen you do for hours and hours and hours, that you can't make any money off of. Which I think this is my opinion. I think you deserve to make money off of it because of the work that you put in, and you can't because some company in Italy wants to stick it in your dumper, for lack of a better term, and it's not really fair. And so, but my bottom line to this whole thing, and Jay, you're going to close us out here with your final thoughts, is I think TOEI needs to really, it's not going to happen because Japanese culture is way different than ours, but I would love it in a perfect world if they opened their eyes, allowed the YouTube community to use their footage in a positive way, in a constructive commentary way, number one, and number two, would fucking put out a simulcast, because even though it's been rumored that we're going to get it, as of this recording, there is no official announcement, not even a dub. How could they not have at least the dub in production? But we haven't heard that they're in production. Maybe they are, and nobody said anything. I don't think so. So people have been asking me, Geekdom, when are we getting the English dub? And I'm like, I don't know. We might get it in November. We might get it next year. And it's bullshit because there's so many other series that get dubbed so fast. Jay, your thoughts?
I think that TOEI should definitely work with YouTubers. Maybe once you get to a certain number of subscribers, you should be allowed to have like some sort of contract with them, fair use contract, where you can only use X amount of minutes or seconds of footage and videos. But I don't think it should be the way it is right now, where you guys are constantly having to watch your backs to check if you're going to get a copyright strike on your videos. I don't think that's fair, especially considering it's really free advertising for their content.
But Jay, they won't even work with Funimation the way they're supposed to. And here's the thing, Jay, before you go any further, just real quick. When they announced the LA premiere, everybody in the community was like, holy shit, we're getting Fakatsu no F before Japan gets a theatrical wide release. We're getting a pre-screening. That is unheard of. I don't even think Pokemon had that luxury during the height of its popularity. And all of a sudden, a month later, it's like flipped. We're back to 96 again. What the fuck? We are back in the 90s once again.
Yeah, but I just think that even though it's not going to happen, that's the sort of route they should be taking. They should be working with the fans of the community who have X amount of subscribers, whether it be 50,000, 100,000. Because I don't think it's fair that people are constantly having to, if you own the footage, if you legally own the footage on DVD, Blu-ray, whatever, you should have a right to use that footage for educational purposes. And YouTube has to take some of the blame. Not all the blame falls on Toei for this. I don't think it's fair that YouTube has a really shitty system where bots go looking for footage and matching it up, because it's inconsistent and they get it wrong a lot of the time. You shouldn't have to flip your footage. You shouldn't have to change the color palette of your footage. You shouldn't have to speed your footage up to try and avoid detection from these bots. So all the blame doesn't necessarily fall on Toei, in my opinion, but I definitely think it's a bit sad. I definitely think it's a bit sad that that they treat us like shit when we're the ones driving their product.
Well, that's it for Talk Dragon Ball, and thank you, Qaaman. Check out Qaaman's Land. I'll put the link in the description, and Jay, of course, Super JAYAIN, always a good time, and we'll probably be back next week with another episode. I was actually going to end it with Super JAYAIN is from Brisbane. He has to find a chick to nut in. He orders margarita but no, I'm going to hold that off for next week. So that might be the song next week unless I come up with a better one.
Alrighty, sounds good. Can't wait.
JAYAIN is from Brisbane. Alright, that's it. We'll catch you down the road.
So please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember, as I always say, to have a great day, guys.
You better subscribe.